What is the goal? And this is what I like to compare it to is if you think of the average person compared to a person who's very observant, what are we looking at? And I'm going to just run through this very quickly. If you have a question, please put in the chat. But the goal of every person is happiness. Happiness is when they fulfill what they feel is their objective and what they want to do. A lot of this leads to their motivation of money, family, power, entertainment. And if you looked at these people and what they did every day, they would do the average things. And at the end of their life, their accomplishment would be what their motivation was, the materials that they possess, their family, the prestige, the awards they've won. All of these things, if they look back when they're 80 years old, they'll think this is, what made my life worth it. This is why I'm happy. Now, if you go to the leader's mindset, well, this becomes interesting. Well, what is their goal? Amazingly, everyone's goal is happiness. But their motivation is a little bit different. Their motivation is self-improvement. It's increasing their understanding and self-control. But if you looked at what they were doing, it wouldn't look very much different than a regular person. And if you looked at what happens at the end of their life, their accomplishments would be very much the same as a follower. In fact, they probably would have more materials, money, awards, greater status in life. But this is where the outside is different than the actual perception of the leader themselves. You see, because in reality, the leader only does two things: self-control and learning. In other words, every day, regardless of where the leader is, regardless of what actual activity they're doing, their purpose is observation and understanding. It is to pick up more information in life or understand the natural laws more, is what I mean. They don't necessarily care about memorizing information. They care about understanding what's going on and seeing life more clearly. And if you actually looked at what they view as their accomplishments, it's self-mastery. It's the ability to see everything, understand everything, be the most efficient and effective that they can. The mindset is different, like I said. They look at happiness in this lens, and this is what will bring them happiness. And if you look at the difference, I love to bring this up because this is why leaders are happier and more stable. Because if you look at the end goal here, if you're the average person and then maybe some of your family members get in a car wreck, a car crash, and some of them die, if that's what you value in life and you see as this is my value, then if that ever happens, what happens to your life? It's totally destroyed, right? If someone comes in and steals all of your money or steals, everything you have, what does that do to somebody who values it? Well, it totally destroys their life. It flips it upside down. What happens if someone goes and slanders your name or spreads rumors or something goes on the internet and it totally kills your reputation? Well, if that's what you saw as your value, your life gets destroyed. And it's very hard to come back from that for most people. But on the leadership side, because of their outlook on life, if any of these things happened, it doesn't affect them. Because that's not what they value. They could be homeless on the street and they could still do what they love, which is observe life, understand the natural laws, see the patterns, understand people, take care of the people. And this is really what automation and AI is supposed to stand for. It's supposed to symbolize a person who is recognized that instead of looking at everything in a silo, like this, Dr. Dean, he's always showing you the table. And you're looking at all the details, but the issue is when you move over here, you have to start over again. It looks totally different because you're so close. But a leader or a person with an automation mindset, they get out of the silo. They realize the correlation with everything they're doing in life. So if they're with their family, it's no different than if they're at the gym. It's no different than if they're working. It's no different than if they're on vacation. Everything they're doing, they're observing what's going on. They're looking at natural laws. They're understanding why people are doing what they're doing, understanding their own constraints. And because of this, a leader who truly has an automation mindset, nothing can disrupt their happiness. Because no one can take away their understanding from them, their ability to see, their ability to figure out what's going on. And so that is the leadership or the automation mindset. Now, no one is on either side, remember. Everyone's a little bit in between, but we're trying to move this way if you want to truly be a BVA expert or have an automation mindset. And it's really the difference in companies. I always compare it to the automotive companies starting from the 1970s, 1980s to now. Because you got on the left-hand side, you have the GE, all of the American automotive companies, and they were going after the money. They're thinking if we just need to mass produce, it doesn't matter how good it is necessarily, we just need to mass produce it, we get in a lot of money. Where the Japanese automotive companies and even the European, they realize it's the value. So every day they made it their goal and the way their companies work to continually improve, continually pick up more understanding, make things more efficient, use more automation. And you can see what has happened. The Japanese automotive companies they just exploded in terms of who wants to buy their vehicles because they became so efficient. They became so good. And it's the same way with people. As we understand the automation mindset, what it is the mindset of continual improvement, the mindset of observing better, seeing reality, and being more effective with what we do.